Wait,
All right.
go.
Alright, hello, my name's Alexander Frost. I'm here to do my informative speech. Here's my audience members that are here today.
So,
my topic is going to be the United Nations. The reason the United Nations started, the idea of it started a couple hundred years ago. In the later stages before World War I, the different major powers of Europe would all meet together and try and decide things that were in their best interest, but there was no main real formal organizations. There was a couple small systems, but that was about it. Until the end of World War I, when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919. That's from the historic learning site. On this day, they decided to create the United Nations, and it was led by the Council, which was the great powers of the war, which was the UK, France, Italy, and Japan. They left out Germany because they were the loser of the war. And they tried to impose a bunch of different sanctions on them because one of the main reasons for founding the organization was a disarmament of Europe and a tried movement away from a world war. However, the League of Nations failed for this reason. They were unable to disarm Europe, and they were unable to keep Germany, Italy, and Japan from leaving the League, which they left, and they started World War II, which led to the end of the League of Nations. It had completely failed. However, at the end of the allies of the World War II decided in 1945 on October 24th, that's from the UN.org, that they're going to try and found another organization that was a victors organization, which was led by the five main powers of World War II, the United States, Russia, China, the UK, and France, which eventually made up the Security Council, which is the head of the United Nations. The main purpose of the United Nations was to manage global transformation over the entire world, and they tried to get all members to join. But soon after World War II, the world became a bipolar world with two powers, and the United States and Russia, and each of these countries had very different interests of what they wanted. And so they exercised often their P5 vote, which any of those five permanent members of the Security Council can immediately override anything that tries to get put into the UN. Under them is the General Assembly, which is each member country. They have one representative and get one vote. And the General Assembly is led by a president and 21 rotating vice presidents from throughout the world, and they help decide on membership and budgetary and other issues. Below them is the Secretary General, which is considered the most difficult job on earth, which has to do with peacekeeping between countries and day-to-day administration work, the head of it at the United Nations building. Recently, since the Cold War ended, the main goal of the United Nations has been peacekeeping and going throughout the world and helping underdeveloped and underprivileged people in smaller societies that weren't able to defend themselves and had human rights violations committed against them. And since the Cold War ended, before 1989, they had only done 39 peacekeeping missions, but since they've done more than 40, that's the main goal of the UN, and that's my informative speech. Thank you.
sweet.
Oh, wait, still recording.
Doesn't matter.